Let's talk a little bit about ACORN. ACORN, oh, by the way, before I get into this, tomorrow we have a very special show you don't want to miss on ACORN. We've been following this story for a while along with Bill O'Reilly. They are once again being accused of exploiting their own low-paid, non-unionized workers. What? This is the same organization that has been trying to hold workers up, supposed to be helping all of those workers. ACORN workers in Pittsburgh have been charged with voter registration fraud, but ACORN says that they are actually the victims because the workers tried to get paid for work that they didn't do. Really? After this program and the O'Reilly Factor made calls to the Louisiana governor's office, they said they plan to meet with the state attorneys general about possible investigation into ACORN. We've been following ACORN's shady dealings, and now we're just asking them to open up their books. If that happens, what will we find, or who will we find? Well, I can tell you that there are two people for sure. They're called the Sandlers. They're two of the richest people in the world. Their names are Herb and Marion, but they're better known as the Sandlers, or even as some bloggers call them, the Scandlers. They've also been called the king and queen of toxic assets who destroyed Wachovia Bank. You may have seen their names in recent Time magazine, a list of 25 people to blame for the financial crisis that we're in. So what is their sixth degree of separation from ACORN? First, a little bit of history. Herb and Marion were married in 1961 after meeting the year before in New York. 2 years later, they moved cross-country and purchased the two-branch Golden West Savings and Loan in Oakland, California for $3.8 million. It became Golden West Financial and eventually the parent company of the World Savings Bank, the second largest savings and loan in the country. Fast forward, nearly half a century later, Sandlers are currently being investigated by the U.S. Attorney's Office in San Francisco for predatory lending practices, and the World Savings is being sued by its borrowers. The married couple were the biggest winners in the 2006 Golden West sale to Wachovia, collecting stock worth more than $2 billion. The biggest losers were the thousands of Americans who bought the bank's infamous adjustable rate mortgages, which allowed borrowers to defer paying their interest. The arms are said to have brought about the demise of Wachovia. Activist groups like ACORN have been blamed for playing a role in the expansion of such mortgages to borrowers who couldn't afford to repay the loans. And that's not all ACORN is being blamed for. Current ACORN members tell Fox News that the Sandlers would pay the group to go out and attack their primary competition, Wells Fargo. ACORN 8 National Chairwoman Marcelle Reed says the protesters were told to march up and down the street to demand an end to predatory loans. She says it's ironic that the same people who gave them those marching orders are the same people to be found at the Center for Responsible Lending. Front Page Magazine founder and reformed radical leftist David Horowitz isn't surprised by the Sandlers' ties to the community organizing group.
ACORN is in alliance with the very wealthy, and ACORN controls the streets. ACORN mobilizes the street forces. They're like the left-wing unions.
Why would the Sandlers need ACORN's foot soldiers to do their dirty work for them?
If you want to destroy a company, you need the public. The people are king in America. The people are sovereign. So what you want is street protests. And actually the architect of these grand alliances between the very, very wealthy and street radicals is George Soros.
Soros and the Sandlers were the subject of a controversial October skit on Saturday Night Live, which aired once, but was then banned from rerunning after someone called NBC to yank it. Perhaps Soros or the Sandlers themselves.
This is Herbert and Marion Sandler. Tell us your story.
Today our portfolio is worth almost nothing, though at one point it was worth close to $19 billion.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. Were you able to sell it for anything?
Yes, for $24 billion.
ACORN and the Sandlers World Savings Bank have had a long and productive relationship that has spanned many years. In our research, we found that the Sandler Family Supporting Foundation has given ACORN entities like Project Vote, the American Institute for Social Justice, and others more than $7 million. That's just since 2001. And who knows how much more we don't know about. So what are the Liberal Sanders up to now? They're funding a nonprofit news organization called ProPublica, which describes itself as, quote, an independent nonprofit newsroom that will produce investigative journalism in the public interest. Will it investigate ACORN? It hasn't yet, but it has looked into the background of the public affairs group that blew the whistle on ACORN. Interesting, isn't it?